Welcome back to the Fit Refresh channel. My name is Sarah Martinez. I'm a health coach and weight loss specialist. I use the 3 pillars of health and wellness, nutrition, fitness, and motivation to help my clients achieve their happy, healthy goals while still enjoying all the things that make them happy in life. I'm excited about today's episode. It's very, very important at this point. We are about to hit the 6-month mark in the middle of the year. Can you believe it? So this is about the time that we start to realize that we've fallen off our goals a little bit or fallen off our path, and it's time to kind of jump back in. So today's episode is all about tips on how to sharpen your focus on your weight loss goals. Let's do it. All right, guys, this is the part when you subscribe to my channel, so just hit that subscribe button. And then at any point, especially if you hear something that's just dead on exactly what you need to hear, hit the like button. Let me know that you heard something that was good for you today, that was positive, that brought you in the right direction, because that is my goal with these videos, to give you something that'll help you discover a new part about yourself. Also, ask questions. I'm always open to coming back and giving you some feedback if you asked questions. I can't know what you need if you don't tell me, right? Let's get started. Today's topic, tips to sharpen your focus, I don't know why that's so hard to say, on your weight loss goals. So it's right around this time of year that we actually start to reflect, right? We're about to get it right into July, hitting that 6-month point in the year, really starting to understand that we either stayed on track with our health and fitness goals that we committed to January 1st, or we've fallen off the wagon and we need to get back on. So today's episode is really about how to jump back in there and really start to refocus yourself. Just because you got to the 6-month mark and you haven't necessarily reached what you're going for, it's okay. The whole point of the weight loss journey is about taking small steps in the right direction. And I think sometimes the stress and the push of the new year gets us to get too excited and go do too much too fast. And of course we burn out. So now it's about what can we do between now and the end of the year to really achieve the goal that we set out for ourselves. And what it's going to be is it's going to be the next half year focusing on small, tiny little steps. My first tip on how to sharpen your focus is to focus on one subject at a time. So listen, I know this stuff is overwhelming. There's so many things to do, right? When you say, I want to lose weight, there's so many elements that can be focused on to make that happen, right? You could focus on nutrition, you could focus on fitness. How do you focus on both of them at the same time? And then how do you stay motivated? This is why I created my 3-pillar system, because really it's an element of all 3 of them that have to come together to find your goal, to find the place that you want to live your happy, healthy life. So it's really a big point to manage each one at a time. It's hard to focus on all 3 of those things at the same time, so focusing in on one thing is going to help sharpen your focus and make some gains. Because really any change you make in any of those categories, you will see a difference. Will it get you to the finish line by itself? Probably not, but these small little changes in each area are going to get you farther along your path. So if you're sharpening your focus first, maybe you find that eating healthy is an easier thing than it is to get yourself to the gym. So my recommendation, focus in on just nutrition. Even if by the end of the year, you really fix your nutrition goals, you will see a change and you will have done more for yourself than trying to focus on all these things at once. Next up, be okay with slow progress. So this is going to add on, this is just kind of another layer to what we were just talking about. The best way to approach your health and fitness goals is not to imagine a quick solution, but to imagine and be okay, breathe into the idea that this might take a little bit of time. I might need to put in continual effort into this for a while. And then through that patience and that consistency, you will see results. I have yet to see a client not see results when they've stayed consistent and into small increments in their health and fitness goals. So be okay with slow progress. Before you jump right into some 30-day program or some quick fix, whatever, decide for 1 second that, you know what, I'm okay with this if this takes a little while, if this takes an entire year, if this takes 2 years to get where I'm going, because as long as I'm moving towards my main goal, I will achieve it. So you just need to repeat that to yourself, because I will achieve it should be your mantra, not, oh my God, I'm going to fall off this, or I'll stop doing it, or it hasn't worked. Oh my God, this is an important one that definitely needs to be talked about. And it sounds kind of negative at first because it sounds like, be realistic about expectations. Sounds like you're never going to get what you want, right? It kind of has that feeling about it. But the reality of it is that you need to really understand what it takes to change your body. Your body changed over a period of time, right? Whether it was 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, even 5 months, whatever the time period is, to think that you're going to fix it in just a short 2-week period, or I'm going to change my eating habits for a month and everything's going to be fine. I mean, that is just not physically how your body can work. Your body is built on pattern, so it's going to take the path of least resistance. Once you tell your body this is how it is, it gets comfortable in it. It's like, okay. And if it maintains it for long enough, that becomes a pattern that it's familiar with. And it starts to base everything it does around supporting the pattern you're asking it to do. So the moment you change that pattern, guess what? It's going to take that amount of time, if not, a lifetime of changing your mental position on things to really get yourself to get back in line. So being realistic about your expectations is important. It is the safest amount of weight to lose is 1 to 2 pounds a week, right? So if you're trying to lose 5 pounds a week or 10 pounds a week, it's just not going to happen, and it shouldn't happen. If it happens like that, I don't know what you're doing, but it doesn't really happen that way. So being realistic about expectations, knowing what you're looking at is really important. My best example is people who tend to go on a keto diet, who cut their carbs dramatically. You tend to lose a lot of water weight in your first week and a half. So people will lose like 7 pounds in a week, right? But then everything slows because that is not a realistic expectation to maintain every single week. That is your body ridding itself of things it felt like it had to hold because you got it into a pattern. Now that that's gone, it now gets rid of the things that it needed to pad and help you, and now you can get into a regular burn, your 1 to 2 pounds a week, whatever it is. So just know that being realistic about what's in front of you will make you feel like you're successful. Otherwise, you're going to feel like you're not succeeding and you're failing, and I guess that's the same thing, right? And that feeling is going to make you want to stop and give up. Here's a tip I highly recommend. Make a commitment to a schedule. So I think one of the biggest things I hear clients say as one of the excuses that we all make for ourselves is, I don't have time to do it, right? You think about your day like, I'm very busy, I don't have time. Of course we have time. We have time that we can make for the things that are important to us. And for those of us that can't just organically, and this includes myself, organically get into some kind of like perfect schedule, you might actually have to just schedule it for yourself. So putting it down, saying 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., I'm booked, I'm doing a workout, right? Or meal prepping on Sundays to make sure that I have all my food for the week. Adding it to a schedule, setting your alarm so that there's some accountability, a feeling of like realization, oh, I have to get this done, is going to help you. The more you can set yourself in some sort of pattern, the better. Again, your body is built on patterns. Your mind is built on patterns. So if you have a proper pattern, your body will just start to naturally go, oh, it's Sunday at 2. I meal prep these days. But that takes time. So be patient with it. But starting with writing it down and putting it into a schedule is going to be an epic change that will make a big change in your life overall. So this one's more about a tip about how to be physically. So when you're talking about the actual function of focus, it's mostly a brain function, right? Focusing your mind to stay committed on a goal, thought, purpose, and your brain needs support. So the more that your brain can function properly, the better you're going to be able to focus on the things you need. I mean, how many people have tried to go do a workout on an empty stomach? So this one's really important. Don't let yourself make decisions when you are too hungry or too full. When you're in these states, your body is reacting to either needing food. I need food. I'm focused on this because I need to. And then also you get cloudy because you don't have the fuel. The reason why you're hungry is because your body needs fuel to function. In those cases, you're never going to make the right decision on nutrition. You're never going to make the right decision about working out. You're always going to feel like you can't really focus your energy the right way. It's going to feel kind of crazy. So make sure you're not starving yourself. Eat periodically throughout the day. eat whole food diet. These things are going to support that system. Same with being too full. If you're too full, you're lethargic, your brain is not functioning properly, your body is working overtime to break down whatever you put in it. It just makes your focus not as sharp. So make sure that physically you're doing the things that you need to stay focused on your goals as well. This is my last big tip for the day. Identify distractions that deter you. This one is absolutely necessary. So obviously we have these things, these big goals that we set out for ourselves. And I know what happens. You start to go, okay, well, I'm going to do this at 6 o'clock p.m. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But it gets so easy to get distracted by something. And typically we find ourselves distracted usually by the same things pretty consistently. Obviously big red flags that go up this day and age, social media. I mean, the other day I got on TikTok and I went into a TikTok spiral for about an hour and a half. So, we get distracted, and I think about that hour and a half, and though I was highly entertained, very entertained actually, I still think to myself, well, that was an hour and a half that I just wasted, right? That was something I could have done that was getting me closer to my goals. So identifying your distractions, knowing what they are so that you have the ability to properly get around them or avoid them for the time being to actually get yourself focused on your goals is important. So setting some boundaries. For me, there's a period of time that I say you cannot get on social media between this hour and this hour. And during that time, my focus is on everything else I need to accomplish, or all the other things I need to accomplish that I've written down and figured out how to approach, but you identifying your distractions. So how are you going to do this? How are you going to identify your distractions? Well, this is going to come from a heightened level of awareness. If you guys have been watching my videos, you know that that's always where I go. You need to elevate your mind and be more aware of what's around you, aware of what you're doing, aware of what you're putting in your mouth, aware of how you're feeling after you do something. These are the things that are going to help you stay on track. These are the things that are going to make you stronger and actually help you achieve your goals because you're going to recognize them. It's going to click in your mind. You're going to be aware of it, and you won't do the things that you don't know why you can't lose weight, or I don't know why I can't achieve my goals, because you'll know exactly why if you're aware of what's going on around you. I think that's a great way to end this video. I hope that these tips were helpful. Again, all of them kind of come from a place of awareness. So take the time to get yourself focused on yourself and what you need to accomplish. If you need help with that, that is what I do for a living. So you can reach out to me. You can always go through my website, which is listed right down here below. And also it's in my bio as well. I have lots of programs that I'm starting up here in the near future. And as you come in and start to decide that it's time to refocus yourself, sharpen up, get yourself to a new place, then I highly recommend jumping in with me, right? So getting a little guidance to get you in the right direction. Stop Googling how to lose weight and get 17 different responses that don't make sense. Let's figure out how you personally can lose weight and be healthy and happy at the same time. I just want to say I appreciate you again for tuning in. Please again subscribe, like this video, and of course let me know if there's any other topics you want to hear about. Otherwise, I'll see you next week with a new topic. Bye.